6.24 case study. Actually, designing is the core part of programming, that is a mental work. For that, mainly in function-oriented programming approach, we are taking a top-down modular approach. In top-down modular approach, we adopt divide and conquer technique. The 2 points I already explained. Now, without any abstraction, let us take up a case, building construction. Why I am taking up this? Everybody knows about the whatever activities involved in this thing. And at the same time, you know that a very massive activity, hundreds of activities are involved in that. Suppose if you take up the construction of your building on your own without engaging contractor, then you know that you develop lot of chaos, because always hundreds of activities come into your brain. How to start, where to end, all that you do not know. Lot of confusion is created. So, by using top-down modular approach, magical approach, you can achieve perfect control over designing. Thereafter, if you are a beginner, if you never have any experience also, you can do that with a fewer mistakes. Now, let us analyze that. Let us take up this case study and let us apply top-down modular approach. Prima facie, if you see that it involves hundreds of activities, at least 100 activities you can list out. Understand? Then where to start, where to end, you never know. Now, let us follow very strategic approach, and we analyze that and dissect it. I find only 3 core activities in that, 4 basic activities: approvals, appointments, and purchases. Just you please think, if you find any other activity which is not covered by 3 heads, that means hundreds of activities are grouped into only 3 categories: approvals, appointments, and purchases. Again, take one by one step and dissect. Now, town planning, electricity, water and sewerage board, or one or two other may be there, XYZ. So, all approvals can be dissected in 3 or 4. Then, come to appointments. Now, architect, because blueprint is to be developed first, architect, engineer for supervision, masons, transporter, electrician, plumber, carpenter, etc. Different types of specialists are required. Everybody makes one way of contribution by way of services to your construction. So, in this way, a set of specialists you appoint. Then come to purchases. Purchases are classified into different groups: basic purchases, intermediate purchases, final purchases, and all that. If you come to basic purchases, sand, cement, concrete, chips, wood, etc. Basic purchases like steel, etc. And next, basic electrical material and wooden frames, like that. Finally, paints, final electrical equipment, sanitary equipment, etc. In this way, if you see, purchases can be classified into 3 groups: basic purchases, intermediate purchases, and final purchases. Final purchases are decorative materials, wall curtains, etc. and all that. Final, after everything is finished and all that, different purchases in different stages you make. So, for preparing, if you are a layman also in construction, then for preparing entire chart, you may require 1 or 2 days time. Otherwise, you can consult others and all that. Now, whatever is quite abstract and confusing come into your hand, and one piece of paper, everything is present on the piece of paper. You will have a detailed look of that. And thereafter, you can keep it in your pocket and every time you monitor. Simultaneously, you can perform all these jobs. Then ultimately, however, if you are a beginner, if you don't have any experience in this field, some burning of fingers are inevitable. Don't worry about that. By every error, your experience is crystallized, sharpened, that you understand. Now you see, everything achieved perfect control. This is the proper designing. Then everything is implemented properly. This approach, now you see, it is like this. Top down, at a top level, only single task, and come down, some clarity, some more clarity, some more clarity, some more clarity. Everything is there. It can be compared with the flying high in the sky. When you view the ground from this point, everything is blur. Come down little, some clarity, some more clarity, some more clarity, some more clarity. Ultimately, you landed everything with the naked eyes. You can view the world. Now you see the same thing. At this thing, everything is blur. Come down, some clarity. Hundreds of activities are divided into only 3. Then come down, come down, come down, come down. Everything is clear. Everything is in your control. This is a wonderful and a magical approach. Being a layman also, you can achieve bigger tasks once you understand the spirit of this approach. In the same manner, other massive tasks just you take up and analyze that, and that also, what is that? That is organizing a marriage function. This is also like this massive task. That also in this manner you analyze organizing a marriage function. Then come down one step, that is accommodation, transport, accommodation, transport, purchases, invitations, food, customary activities, supervision, post-marriage activities. Like that you can list. Again, you dissect all the subtasks you find out, and entrust to people. Suppose food is there, you call catering people, you entrust, and customary activities, the customary persons are there, just you entrust. Like that you entrust and make them responsible, accountable for the job. And all the people who are involved in that, they make their contribution. Ultimately, the marriage function is organized. And here, if you compare the building construction and organizing marriage function, both are very massive projects, but the marriage function is more crucial, very sensitive, very highly time scheduled. Understand? So, in that, your control should be much more. Very strict control is required. Here, some lapses are there and all that. You have to pay some penalty. But there, some lapses are there. Then the damage cannot be recovered. Suppose some VIP is not invited because of mistake. Then he may not excuse you. Then it may create differences between you. So that's why, depending on the project, your controlling measures should be changed. So in this way, you can understand the top-down modular approach. By understanding the spirit of top-down modular approach, you can take, if you are a layman even, you can take up bigger tasks and handle them easily. Fewer mistakes. We are after all human beings. Error is human. By every error, you can, if you have integrity, you can sharpen your knowledge, you can sharpen your